Many psychologists consider the self as the core of personality pattern, which provides it a unity. Therefore, a person's self is the sum total of all that he can call as his. The quality of an individual's behavior can be expressed in the ways he adjusts to people and things in his environment is related to. Therefore, a person's self-concept is largely determined by his behavior and the ways he accepts and the ways he adjusts to the people and also the situations. Hence, the role of self is very important in goal-directed activities and also in other spheres like perceiving, thinking, learning and other cognitive processes. And the nature of self is very complex because it is unknown to individual at some time. Sometimes it is known to the individual and sometimes it is unseen and even sometimes hidden. So, the nature of self can be diagrammatically represented and understood as follows. Hello and welcome to personality development classes. In today's class, we are going to understand the nature of self, which is very complex. Therefore, we are going to study it with the help of a diagram. To understand the nature of self more and to observe ourselves correctly, a model is required or a model is prepared to make us understand our self-concept deeply or to realize us about ourselves. This model is known as Johari window or Johari model, which helps us to understand the nature of self. So, Johari window is a technique for improving self-awareness within an individual. So, this technique helps us to understand ourselves in a detailed manner, or it helps us to observe an individual's behavior. It helps in understanding your relationship with yourself and also with others. It was developed by American psychologist Joseph Luft and Harry Ingham in 1955. Hence, the name Johari. Johari window is generally used in self-help groups in exercises which help a person to learn and discover things about themselves. So this model helps a person to understand himself more, and it also helps in communicating with others, and it also helps us to understand more about others. Clear? So here is the description to Johari model. This model has 4 windows. The first one is open, next one blind spot, next hidden, and the last one is unknown. It can be explained both horizontally and vertically, right? So as you can see that open model is also considers by its side written as known to others and also known to self, as it says, which means the open model says that the things which are in the open model are known to the person himself and also to others. The known quadrant in this picture refers to things about yourself that you know about and are willing to share with others, such as example, your feelings, your ideas, your motives or your goals that you know about yourself and also you want to share those with others. So the open model says that the things which are known to the individual and also to the person with whom that individual is communicating. So this says that all the communications occur through a two-way process. Therefore, a person can socialize about himself with others constantly and also receives feedback from that person. As a result, the group becomes more effective and relationship in this group is very dynamic or interactive. So in this quadrant or in this open area or open window, a person easily communicates with others and also expresses himself clearly or openly. Clear? Okay. The next one is blind spot. Here the things are known to others but not known to the self. The things which others know about me but I don't know are regarded as blind spot. The unseen quadrant. It refers to the things about yourself seen by others but not. Example, the way you behave when you are angry or the way you behave when you can't tolerate some situations may be regarded as the unseen quadrant or the blind spot. Blind spot is the area in which the certain information on your personality is known to others but that information is not known to you. In simple, other people may interpret your personality different than you might have expected. So here other people may understand you in a different way as you think yourself. As you may think that when you are angry you stay calm or you don't talk, but other people may notice you as different person when you are angry, right? And the next is hidden window, which is not known to others and known to self. It is also called as camouflaged. This quadrant refers to things about yourself known to you and shown to others in a disguised or hidden manner. Here the things which you hide within yourself can be said as hidden window. For example, jealousy. You might be jealous of your friend, but you show it as if you are very much pleased with your friend. So this can be referred as hidden quadrant or hidden feeling. So jealousy is the best example for camouflaged or hidden window. So here the things which you hide in a disguised manner. Even though you are jealous or even though you are angry, you show it as if you are not at all angry or not at all jealous, as if you show it as you are happy with that person. So this can be referred as hidden quadrant or hidden window. Clear? So hidden area is the information that you hide from others. Here the information is known to you, but the others are unknown to this information. Because the reason for this may be the information might be personal to you. So because you hide those feelings or you hide those information because you are unwilling to share those information. It includes secrets, your secrets which you don't want to share with others, your past experiences which you want to hide, or your feelings such as jealousy, anger, etc. Many people keep the information private and do not share it with others, right? Okay, and the next one is unknown. Not known to others also and not known to self. So the unknown quadrant is both hidden to the self and also to the other persons. The unknown factors of myself are not known to me and also not known to others. They come forward or they open up as we face some kind of situations. Unless or until we doesn't face any kind of situations, we don't know that we have those features or qualities. Like the unknown quadrant refers to things that you as well as others are completely unaware of. From the diagram, It is clear that there are many aspects in an individual of which he is partially or totally unaware of. So there is this quadrant says that we are completely or partially unaware of. We don't know that we have those qualities within us. So to understand better of his self, an individual need to constantly engage himself in. So to understand the unknown quadrant, the person should engage himself in self-analysis. A person should do self-analysis, and also he has to interact with the society. He or she has to interact with others, and also it comes out with our experiences. So self-analysis means the individual has to study himself continuously. He has to access his strengths and weaknesses. When we think about our strengths and weaknesses, we realize what qualities do we have. Unless and until we don't analyze our strengths and weaknesses, we cannot understand ourselves in a better way. He has to explore his abilities and also capacities and hence improve them. He also has to strive to overcome his weaknesses. So by understanding our strengths, we have to develop those strengths in a deeper manner, and also by understanding our weaknesses, we have to work harder to reduce those weaknesses. Unless and until we are faced with certain situations, we cannot understand ourselves more. So as we keep on growing, as we keep on moving or interacting with society, we realize more about ourselves. We study more about ourselves, right? Unless I don't talk with others, I cannot understand how well I talk, right? As I am a teacher, unless and until I start teaching, I don't understand that I have a quality of teaching, right? So to understand my hidden qualities, I have to start that process. To understand how well I can teach, or to understand how good I am at teaching, I have to start teaching. Without knowing what qualities do I have about teaching, I cannot understand how I teach, or how can I teach. So to understand or to improve ourselves, we have to work on improving ourselves, or we have to analyze ourselves. Clear? And social interactions. So social interaction is also very important to understand ourselves. Unless and until I talk with any person, I don't understand that I am able to talk. So when I try to talk, I realize that I am good at talking with others, or I realize that I am not good at communication, or I am not good at communicating with others. So when we start working, or when we start to develop our situations, so when we start observing ourselves, we realize that we have or we don't have those qualities. Therefore, unless and until I don't interact with others, I cannot realize my qualities of communication, or how good I am at communicating with others. And the next one, the most important thing is experience. So when we experience something, we should not deny those experiences and always keep on learning with those experiences. For example, you are walking on a road and there are no people surrounding to you, and a dog starts following you. What do you learn in this situation? So either you scare that dog, or either you start running away from that dog, right? Or if you are not scared of dog, you just face it with your abilities, right? So unless you are experienced, or unless you are faced with this kind of situation, you don't understand what type of quality do you have. Therefore, experiencing any situation, experience plays a very important role in developing yourself. Clear? So these are the 4 quadrants or windows which helps us to understand more about ourselves, and also it helps to understand the nature or characteristics of self-concept. Clear? Thank you.